Yo, YouTube. Free Guy, starring Ryan Reynolds, Taika Waititi, and the guy from Stranger Things, whose character just improves every season. I didn't bother to look up his real name because you all know who I'm talking about. This movie, while it was funny, had its funny parts, I felt if they do a sequel, should lean into more of the really interesting questions that they would bring up throughout the movie about, self-awareness. It was real. There were a lot of really emotional moments. Like, it was just full of metaphors, visual metaphors. The fact that he becomes self-aware as a background video game character. He was like a leftover algorithm that was not completely erased from the original version of the video game because, the guy who owns the company kind of copied theirs but didn't completely erase theirs. And there was basically living AI inside his video game and just continually growing and evolving, like their original idea. So I feel like if they do a sequel, they could really lean more into the drama of it all, over the humor, over the comedy. Ryan Reynolds, as always, he was great. My only nitpick of the whole movie was, I would say like 20% of the directing just felt... I listened to some interviews with Ryan Reynolds, how he and the director were kind of like rewriting it because this movie was delayed so many times. And when they would come up with an idea, they would go ahead and reshoot it. And there were moments where I could tell that they probably just did that take once and put it in the movie. And I don't know, that popped out to me. It just kind of looked like, not sloppy editing, but lazy editing or lazy directing. Just kind of like, yeah, let's just do this. It's funny, but it's going to seem a little unnatural or out of place, not a part of the whole flow of the movie. Again, it's only a nitpick. I don't even know why I mentioned nitpicks, but I don't want everyone to think that I'm just, gonna love every single aspect of every single movie. And it was really cool the way that they blend it all together and did a really good job of not letting the fantasy story unravel and kept it pretty grounded. I mean, and I'm no MIT engineer. I don't really know a lot about computers and artificial intelligence and all that, but what I do know, it all made sense within that universe and within those rules, and that was fun. The plot, the storyline, everything, it didn't unravel, and I can't wait to see if they do a sequel. I love Taika Waititi. He was great. He was the villain. He was, the big mean boss. And I hope they do more. So I give Free Guy, I'm going to give it a B+. There's so many visually fun moments. It's enjoyable from beginning to end. And it's hilarious. So go ahead, go see Free Guy. I will see you next week. I gotta go. And I'm back. I forgot to mention my absolute favorite part of the entire movie, and I kind of heard a rumor that there was a specific cameo in the movie, but I just kept waiting, and I had to pee towards the end, but I just kept waiting because I wanted to see if this cameo was true. And in the end, in like the climax in the third act, Guy is fighting Dude, the steroid version of Guy, and Dude is about to punch him with this big, huge red fist, and Guy's going through his, available weapons, and he sees a shield, and he picks the shield, and he blocks the punch with Captain America's shield. And they start playing the music, and I almost lost my shit. I almost stood up and started cheering. People were cheering and like clapping, but then later on, he uses the freaking lightsaber. He's standing there, and the blue lightsaber lights up, and the crowd that I was with at the movie theater, they all stood up and cheered. It was so cool. I couldn't believe it. I'm always hesitant to do it. I always want to do it, and then when people around me do it, I'm like, oh, I would have been the first one. But anyway, the Captain America part with the shield, and then they cut to Chris Evans, who's watching the live stream of the whole thing, and he's like, what the shit? And I think that's because, well, I know that's because during the pandemic, and the reason this movie was delayed so much is because Disney bought Fox. Fox produced the movie, but then Disney owned it. But like, because of the pandemic, they were like, no, let's not put it out. And Ryan Reynolds kept going back, and that's how they were able to like add scenes and, you know, work on it for like an extended period of time, longer than they would need to. But anyway, I forgot to mention that part.